season of Lent is characterized by three things that we are supposed to do. Normally they say pray, fast and abstain, or pray, fast and charity or alms giving. Fasting and abstinence go together. So pray, fast and abstinence, and finally charity or alms giving. So these are the three things we are supposed to do during these days of Lent. And today's gospel is about these three things: praying, fasting and alms giving. So these are all good works. Jewish tradition, in Jewish religion, these are all three basic good works that we are supposed to do, and we are asked to do this during this season of Lent. We need to pray a lot, we need to fast or abstain, and finally alms giving, that means charity, helping the needy, etc. Now what are these three? Basically they are actually three basic relationships that we need to establish. What are those three basic relationships? Pray means my relationship with God. So I should have a right relationship with God. Fast and abstinence, my relationship with myself. That means basic self-discipline. Then we have charity or alms giving, my relationship with others. So these are the basic relationships we need to establish in the right way. So the right relationship with God, right relationship with the self, and the right relationship with each other. And if you have right relationships to these three categories of people, your life is good, very good, no harm at all, and you will be living a good Christian life. So do you have right relationship with God, right relationship with each other, and right relationship with self? Right relationship with God of prayer, right relationship with self, fasting and abstinence, and right relationship with each other, charity and good works and helping the needy. So the Lenten season is the season of doing these three things. They are good works actually. Now most of us, normally when the Lent comes, we will come to church very often and pray, and we will have more attendance in the church. Today we have good attendance. Not even normal Sundays we have such attendance, because we have fear of God. Lenten season we have to come to church. When the Lent is over, no church, no God and all that, so we try to do that. Very good, very good. Please come to church and attend mass if possible every day. We have mass here in the morning 7 o'clock, and Sunday is 8 o'clock in the morning. Please do come. Very good. And most of us will think of fasting almost every Friday of Lent, and sometimes abstaining from meat and fish, and we'll give up many things. Those of us who are addicted to drinks or smoking, they will give up that. Good practices, very good practices. Okay, some of us addicted to some mentality and stubbornness, give up that also. Okay, very good practices. So we will think of self-disciplining during this Lent. Very good, very good. Then we will do a lot of charity. We'll give some food to the hungry and people on the street, and we will set aside some charity, some money and all that. Very good practices. Now I am going to propose to you something different with regard to praying, with regard to self-discipline, and with regard to charity. I hope let this Lent be a different Lent for you, not the lens that we have gone through in the past. And this Lent also will come and go as it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, and we will never change it. And we will wait for next Lent to come, do the same thing, nothing will change. So I am going to propose to you something different from prayer, fasting and abstinence, and also for charity. Very simple, very easy to do, but very effective. Very effective. Something different from the normal way you pray and fast, etc. First thing, this time Lent, pray every day for a stranger. Normally we pray for our kith and kin. Normally we pray for our friends and relatives, our own family members. we have many a times moments to pray for them. When you passed through the road or waiting for a bus, or when you came here, or when you are seeing people here, there may be a lot of strangers sitting here. When you pass through, you must have seen some faces. We don't know who he is or who she is. We just saw the face. Just remember that person and pray. Probably nobody prayed for that person. That's a good thing you can do. And choose every day an unknown stranger person. Every stranger that you meet on the way is going through a tough battle inside. So pray for that person. And if you choose every day one person you met that day, 40 days of Lent, 40 strangers you prayed, and probably nobody would have prayed for those persons. That's a great thing you can do. Do this time, I would suggest. Nothing much to be done. Just you noticed a person on the road, you don't know who or she is, and just spend 1 second, raise your mind and heart to God, and just say, Lord, bless that person. Help that person. That's all you need to think and connect to God. If you do that, more far effective than praying for our normal needs and our own kith and kin. That's the first thing I would like to ask you during these days of Lent. Every day of this Lent, think of someone who is not of your kind, who is not of your family, who is not of your caste or creed, who is not of your gender, who is not even of your age. Then it is far more effective. Someone very, very strange in your life. Never heard, you will never see that person again probably. But you prayed. You were connected to God for that person. That's a very beautiful and very lovely act during these days of Lent. That's the first thing I'm going to tell you. And please do it. Something different you can do. Second thing about fast. The church asks only 2 days to fast. That is today, Ash Wednesday, and Good Friday. And normally this fast is for adults, those who are of adult age. Minors and elderly, you need not be taking fast, or sick people. And there are some basic rules like one full meal and other meals not full. So don't take quarter or half or 3/4 of the meal and fill your stomach. So if you are able to fast, please do it on this day. If you are not fasted today, there is still time, supper time. Please have a think of giving up something, fasting. And the next day of fasting is on Good Friday. Church demands only that. I would suggest only fasting only these 2 days. Rest of the days of the Lent, I would ask you to feast, not fast. Feasting how? Feast with a poor person. Who is this poor person with whom you can feast? There are so many poor people around you. Why don't you invite a poor person, if not every day, at least once a week, or once a month, or once in this Lent? Invite a poor person in your home and eat with that person. That is more Christian than fasting. Jesus did this. Jesus fasted for 40 days, but rest of the years of his life, most of the time he was feasting. And with whom? Not alone. If you feast alone, it is a selfish eating. If you feast with others, it is a charity. It is a good act. Jesus feasted with the sinners, tax collectors, poor people. That is how we need to do. Today I got one message, one person saying, that lady told me, I'm going to make laddus today and give to the poor people around on Ash Wednesday. Then I wrote her, if you, instead of feeding the poor with a laddu, you eat a laddu with a poor person, more Christian than giving them a laddu. So you eat with a poor person. That means you are sharing and identifying with a poor person. You are not just giving and coming away. So I would suggest during these days of Lent, may not be every day possible for you, may not be every week possible for you. I would suggest at least once feast. If you can feast many a times, very good Lent you will be making. That means you invite a poor person and share with that poor person, and if possible, eat with that poor person. That is what you can. Pope Francis does this several times in his life. He calls sometimes, homeless people, invites to his dining hall and eats with them. So it is a great act of good works, I would suggest. So instead of fasting, except those 2 days, I would suggest other days try to feast. Don't feast alone, feast with the poor people. That's the second thing. Third thing, we will be thinking of doing lot of charity. And we will be thinking of giving up many things in life. I'm sure many of you will be thinking of giving up. I do take alcohol, I do smoke, I have bad habits, I will give up that. Very good. But I would suggest during this season of Lent, giving is more important than giving up. Can you give your time for someone else? Can you give your presence for someone else? Can you give your smile for somebody else? Can you give some time of your life and talk and spend with somebody else? Giving is more Christian than giving up in your life. So I would suggest during these days of Lent, give. Don't give up. Give. More than giving up, give. Give your time. Not just your money and food, etc. Give yourself. Give your presence. Give your availability. These are the beautiful things you can give. Give your smile. Give your words of kindness. A gesture of touch. A gentle presence. Call a person and you talk to that person. These are all acts of giving. It is in giving that we receive. Remember this. So I would suggest, please to give. Please to spend time in giving. So let us spend these days of Lent giving instead of giving up. Fasting, no, feasting instead of fasting. Not just feasting alone, feasting with the poor. And finally, praying for 40 strangers every day whom you met on the road or somewhere, or when you passed by, you saw a person sitting there. Just remember, that takes only a second. And if you do this, I'm sure your Lent will be a graceful Lent, holy Lent, and God will bless you. Don't worry about yourself. Don't worry about your family. God will bless your family and God will bless you. This is what Zacchaeus did. Zacchaeus gave. A tax collector, sinner. Zacchaeus was willing to give his part of his life, half of his life and property and things. And he was willing to give up his mistakes even. And God said, this house is blessed. This family is blessed. And we want more and more of Zacchaeus in today's culture and today's life. Let this Lent be a holy season of these things in your life.